by Totino's Pizza Rolls. You're here on day one. It's a conference day, but we've taken this break and we've got a lot of special guests coming in here, and we thank each and every one of them for making the trek over. And today we've got Terrence He from H1Z1, your producer on the game, joining us.
Thank you. Very excited to be here.
Awesome. Sure. So you've had a kind of exciting period recently. Of course, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A lot happening on the PC side.
Yes.
But on the console side, you've had a PS4 release.
Yep. We just came out of open beta a couple of weeks ago, and honestly, the reception has just been phenomenal. The numbers were just incredible for us. I think we hit in first 24 hours like 1 million downloads, 1 million players, and I think we're over 8.5 million already.
Congratulations. That's
thanks.
Great.
Yeah, and the PlayStation blog just said that for the month of May, we are #1 download.
Awesome.
So that's, really exciting news for us. For sure.
I just have to ask, because, both a PC and a console player, but, sometimes each community wants something a little bit different.
Sure.
Is that a interesting and fun world to tackle there?
Yeah, and it's true. We knew that when we made the PC version, the console version rather, that we had to make it specifically for that market.
Right.
It's, the certain controls don't translate very well, right? So on the console, what we ended up doing is we ended up cutting out a lot of the things that would get in your way. So we got rid of crafting, and then we got rid of like inventory. So now instead of inventory management, you just use your D-pad to select quick items. Like a medical kit or first aid, and then in addition we've given you a weapon wheel that's obviously much more similar to what you expect on modern shooters these days.
Have you gotten any response from PC players who have played on console and been like, wow, you like really figured it out?
Yeah, and a lot of them are asking for some of the features that we put on the console that aren't there on the PC side. So like the console side, we actually have 6 new weapons. And that matters a lot, because one of the things that we did on the console is we actually have power progression or weapon progression that we don't really do on the PC side. And so we've really tried to, we're really hearing players asking for those same weapons to come on over to the PC side. So they're separate teams, and so both teams are kind of looking at like, well, how do they learn from each other at this point?
Right.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you came here to talk to us about was some new H1Z1 content.
Oh yeah, for the PC side?
Yeah.
So the big thing coming up real soon for the PC side is we're actually releasing what we call our remastered Z1. And this has been a real labor of love both for the team and the community. Z1 is what we call the first map that came out. And
the OG map.
It is the OG map. It is exactly what kind of spawned all of this battle royale craziness and popularity that we now see. We went back, we started with the terrain, we got rid of some of the pain points that you had in the first version. We redid all of the assets and updated them so the performance is better, and just the art style and everything is better. So we are super pumped to get that out into the hands of both our old players that remember Z1, and they proudly call themselves Z1 gamers, and then all of the new players that missed out and they only know Z2.
And this is something that you've been wanting to do for a while, and the community's wanted for a while, and it's taken a while, right?
And it's taken a while, and we wanted to do it right, not fast. And so they'll get it in their hands really shortly, though. It's going to go out live June 27th.
June 27th?
So just a couple weeks away.
Right,
so
perfect time for summer, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you just touched on this a little bit earlier, but I was wondering if you could go a little more in depth with your discussion of the progression system and how that's going to play out.
Yeah, so on the console, it's really interesting, right? Unlike the PC version, on the console version, when you first land, you only can find what we would call our level 0 gear and weapons. So you only can find pistols, submachine gun, and shotgun. So it's very close range. Now, what happens is throughout the match, we have airdrops that have the level 1 weapons, the level 2 weapons, and finally the level 3 weapons. And so these airdrops across the map, they kind of create these flashpoints and these conflicts where, because everyone's racing for the better weapons, obviously, right? And then what also happens is you have the smart players who will kind of camp that. And they'll wait for the suckers like me to try to get the better weapons, and they'll just kill me,
Look,
right?
there's some waiting right for me.
Yeah,
it's a trap.
Exactly, it's a trap. And so it's a very different dynamic than we have on the PC side.
Sure.
Yeah, because we wanted to make a pure battle royale experience for the console to kind of quicken the pace and make sure that's just cut out the fluff. And we also wanted to kind of innovate in that space. And so that kind of forced power progression is something very different.
Are you getting a whole new set of like feedback from all of the new players that are coming in?
Yeah. And a lot of that is they ask for like quality of life features. We've tried to give them, like they want a way to swap their weapons in their weapon slot because now they have a weapon wheel. And so we just put that out. They wanted a way to drop medical items, so we brought that out. And the biggest thing that just happened a few days ago is we released what we call the EMP grenade. So cars are super important in H1, right?
Right.
Yeah. So because the map is huge, it's like the largest map in the BR experience. It's 100 square kilometers. So you need cars for mobility, right? But that tool is really powerful. So we needed to give players a way to kind of counter that tool. Hence the EMP grenade. It's it's detonates on impact. It's a generous 10-meter radius and will disable any car for a full 20 seconds, which in a shooter is like an eternity.
That's not necessarily like a hard stop, but does your like slow to a roll, or is it a hard stop?
It'll slow to a quick roll.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll slow to a quick roll. So that just came out a few days ago, and we're really curious to see how the community reacts to that. So far, it's been like big change for sure, which is really interesting for us. And then we have another thing coming out in the next week or so. We're calling it the airstrike grenade. This is a rare find, but basically you throw it out there, and then a few seconds later, fighter bombers will come zipping by and just will carpet bomb an area. So
that seems that definitely seems like that is definitely a game changer.
That's another game changer.
And also a decision on when the best time to use it.
Because it's rare, right? Because you don't want to die not using it.
Right.
That's the worst.
But you
thing
also
in the
probably
world.
want to maximize the effectiveness of it.
Yep.
So.
Correct.
And you talked a little bit about some of these items coming from drops that are going to differ in level progression. Is that going to be something that is going to be maybe the highest level drop, or
The
is that
airstrike
still
grenade
an
is.
Easter egg? Okay, you're not gonna turn a corner and be like, oh, drawer, hey.
Exactly. That'll come from
Got
our
it.
level 3 airdrop, the rarest crate, and it itself is kind of rare, so it's not even 100% there.
That's great. So new map coming, and you mentioned June, right?
Yep, June 27th.
And you've got, of course, a lot of things that you're changing on the console. And,
yes.
Again, congratulations on the success of that.
Thank
Also, just wanted to just touch briefly on the fact that you've got the H1 Pro League going on too.
Oh yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really cool because talk about a hardcore player experience. These guys are just champions at the
Like
PC
the best
game.
of the best.
Oh, just insane. Yeah. These guys are great. And what makes H1Z1 so interesting to me is that as a spectator sport, it's just so easy to digest and understand what's going on. So when you see these pros moving around and rotating and getting the facing that they're trying to get the best angle on their enemies, it's super exciting. Yeah.
I mean, as far as that goes, you are literally seeing the upper echelon of players.
Yeah. These are gods.
Yeah. Do you ever have to consider that, wow, you could put something in that for, you and me, and I'm sorry if you're a pro, forgive me, Terrence, but, it's like, it helps us feel a little bit more powerful, a little bit, but then you see, these things like the airstrike grenade or something in the hands of pros. Do you ever have to look at the game a little bit differently because of the pros?
We definitely do. So, we've given them a version of the game, the H1 PL. We've given them a version of the game, and then anything that goes in that they want, it's a discussion with them, right? So we work in conjunction with them to make sure that it's kind of the right choice, both for the normal PC community and what they need.
Right.
I wonder, with the history of H1Z1, we've had time for a lot of exciting stuff to happen. Has there been any standout moments for you where the players have really impressed you with how they interact with the game?
Oh, there's always exciting things where people will pull shots off that are just insane. That I'm like, how did he do that? That's just crazy. And just that's the fun thing about H1Z1 and in the Battle Royale is just you just never know what can happen, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And
players are so clever.
I mean, my probably favorite part about it is that even your 10,000th game is as fun as the first game.
Yeah,
right? Actually, it's probably more fun because you're trying to figure out what the heck to do. But the fact that every single gaming experience is different, depending on whether you're playing alone or with friends, and it's definitely one of the things I really appreciate.
That is a quick question. When you bring this over to PlayStation, will the interaction between players still be the same as far as proximity voice, things like that?
So on the console version, we don't have prox chat right now. We only have team chat. So that's the only interaction that we have on the console.
Good. That's
Yeah.
a little more fun for me. I like
Yeah.
that.
Terrence, thank you so much for
it's a pleasure.
stopping by. Real quickly,
Yeah.
whether it's PC or on the PS4, what's the quickest way to be hopping in and getting in on some H1Z1 action?
Well, I would say follow us on Twitter, at H1Z1, and then for the PlayStation 4, just go to the store and just
And
look
just
for it.
download
Just
it?
download it. It's free.
Awesome. Terrence, thank you so much for stopping by here during E3
All right.
2018. Appreciate it. We've got a ton more coming at you. Don't go away. We'll be right back.